Hello, welcome to Maintainer's Garage. I'm Bags. This is not normal. I am on the left coast. I am doing some work for my real job out here. I did not plan on doing any video footage, so I didn't bring any camera equipment. And I ended up getting a 2021 Honda Civic Sport, and I've been driving it for a couple weeks, and it's okay. It's good. Steering wheel feels good. Seat's supportive. Feels comfortable. But I got a day off after a few weeks and came up into the mountains where, you know, all these people, YouTubers and the like, shoot videos. And man, let me tell you, I'm having a little fun. Now, I'm getting passed by Oldsmobile silhouettes, and some of y'all are probably too young to even know what that is. I'm having a good time, and I mean, it is a rental car, so I got to be careful. I mean, it does have 4 matching tires, but I have no idea what kind of brakes are in this thing, when the last time the brake fluid was changed. The alignment's not great, but even with all that, I'm having a blast out here. So, welcome to my review of a 2021 Honda Civic Sport that I rented. Yeah, and that's this car. It's just, you know, basic Honda Civic Sport. Nothing exciting, nothing crazy. And this is not a hamster situation. This car is not Oliver. I am not taking this car home, but I bonded with the car early this morning driving up in the mountains. And, you know, I'm a car dude and I'm dumb. I mean, I own AMC and GME stock, so clearly I'm an idiot. Regardless, let's go for a drive and let's talk and drive. So I think we're ready. We're in sport mode. We got economy off. Yes, this is a however many horsepower I'm going to put under the I'll put it in the video. I mean, the hamsters, you know, we're not going to go that fast, but we're going to have a lot of fun because, as always, it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. And yeah, this is a ton of fun I've been having all day. I got up at the butt crack of dawn, started driving, and been driving all over. And that's when I just decided, I was like, you know what, man, I'm going to go get me a little mount and be dumb. And I'm realizing the angle of this thing is horrible, so we're gonna have to adjust that. I mean, what else am I gonna do up here? Wife's not here, my car's not here, and I've got to do something for some fun. All right, and again, if y'all see a squirrel pass me, don't judge me. This is not the kind of support I need from you in my life. All right, slow down, grab that paddle shifter, and have a lot of fun. That squirrel is unhappy, or the hamster, because we're gonna get passed by a squirrel. But man, the steering feel on this thing is pretty good. As stated, the alignment is definitely off. The brakes are good. We're going to get into them pretty quickly and get off of them pretty quickly. We do not want to set them on fire. They're probably ceramics or something like that. And putting them on fire and needing them, you know, 15 seconds later will be a horrible idea. The feel of this car is pretty good. It's no Miata, but truthfully, it's a little better than my wife's SLK 350. Don't tell her I said that, but it really is. Now, completely different cars, completely different things there, but the steering feel is a little better in this car. Even though her car is a little stiffer, and her car would probably, I'd be faster up here in it, the feel of the front tires on this one is pretty darn good. And the steering wheel is a wonderful size in your hand. Hello, people. Great to see you. Enjoy the lovely 107-degree weather it is on this September day. Uh-oh. A little more braking. There we go. And hey, BMW, you look like you're flying. Oh, more brake. And see, that's what I'm talking about. You get your braking done. If you overbrake, that's a good thing. Because you might need a little more brake in the next turn. And you want to be able to have the actual braking power to do that so you don't die. And man, we caught up with that car. I gave them 5 minutes. But yeah, I just checked the odometer from when I filled up first thing this morning. I've gone 225 miles today, and I routed out a couple different routes ranging from about 300 to almost 500 miles with no plan except to drive until I'm physically exhausted, and then I'll go back and sit in a hotel. I've been living in a hotel for a few weeks, and I'm tired of just only seeing work and hotel. So that's why I'm out here. And that's why I decided to drag you along with me. This looks like a, yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, man. This car has Goodyear Eagles something on, Eagle Sports maybe, Eagle something. But they all 4 of them match. I did at least look the car over before I started on this endeavor, just to make sure all the tires looked like they had the proper air, and the tread looked good. And it's quick enough, and the paddles work well enough. I mean, you know, my wife's SLK shifts harder and shifts faster and shifts better, but just from a small family car, this is a ton of fun. And it's comfortable. Like I said, I've been driving it for a few weeks, and anytime you can have fun for a low amount of money is always a good thing. Alrighty. And you're watching it because clearly you're bored and need entertainment, and maybe you're going to watch me crash. Fair enough. I mean, that's why we watch NASCAR. Oh, NASCAR fans are butthurt all of a sudden. Oh, don't be that way. It's fine. You know you watch it for the train wreck. And I will say, doing this earlier in the morning is more fun than doing it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 109 degrees. But regardless, we're here, we're hot, and we caught back up to them. And at this point, I think you've seen enough of the moron driving the slow car slow. And I didn't make this just to make content. I just found a cool little car I wanted to talk about. Never planned on doing that, honestly. So I've had this rental car for 17 days, and I normally wouldn't review any car I've had that short period of time, but I've driven this a lot in a lot of different scenarios. I took it on a little road trip on my day off that I had out here after a few weeks, and went down to Ventura, drove down the Pacific Coast Highway, which is jam up. I definitely recommend you do that if you have the opportunity. And then drove back, and then drove all the roads up in the northern mountains, Angelos, whatever it is called, Forest, and all those roads. Drove hundreds of 381 miles is what I ended up doing that day. I love the roads, man. Those canyon roads. There's horse farms out there. It kind of stinks, and on the mountain is on one side of it with the rock slides, crazy, but it's tons of fun. Definitely suggest you do that as well. But anyway, 2021 Honda Civic Sport. 7-speed automatic transmission. It's got great connectivity. That's what made my life really simple. Hooked up my phone. It's got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and all that stuff. The seat is super supportive. Like I said, I was in the car about a total of 12 hours the other day, and it wasn't too firm. My body never hurt. The following day it didn't hurt. And again, this is a small to medium-sized sedan. I'll show you what the back seat looks like with me in it. And this is my driving position. And I have legroom. I have several inches of legroom here. My feet aren't touching the seat, the driver's seat in front of me. So there's lots of space here. The trunk is big. Back seat, there's a ton of room. So we'll go back up front. I normally would never review a car that I've only had this short of time. I just figured it would, number one, it gave me something to do on a day off besides drive all over Southern California. And then number two, it got me thinking about things like, you know, the ergonomics in this car, again, are really good. Plenty of room for 4 adults. I mean, you put 4, you know, I'm 5'10", 5'11", whatever. You put 4 of us in here, it's going to be a little cramped. But we could do it now. I wouldn't want to do that on like a 7 or 8 hour road trip, but on a 2-hour trip, no problem. And then you shrink those people down to like, you know, mid-sized teenagers who are, you know, 5'5", 5'6", you can do it all day long. And, you know, so sometimes you just, I think I found a pretty cool little car with some decent steering feel. Paddle shifters are pretty decent. I mean, they're not as fast and as firm as my wife's SLK 350, but they're pretty dang good for again, 120-something horsepower 4-cylinder that was getting 38 miles to the gallon before I drove it around all the mountains. Then I was getting 30 that whole day, beating the snot out of this thing. And it has great brakes up there. They were really good. I did a very good job of making sure I wasn't going to kill myself because I have no idea what brakes are on this thing. I have no idea what kind of alignment's on this thing. I don't know any of the maintenance history. I did look at the tires to make sure they all had air in them. But other than that, I just drove it. And I know it needs an alignment. But even with all those things and having 29,000 miles on it as a rental car, that's some hard mileage. And the interior's held up pretty well. The seat's still comfortable. It hadn't broken down. So, you know, I felt like I could give this thing a decent review. All of that being said, in the driving, I just thought you might want my opinion on this car, even though you never asked for my opinion. But regardless, that's my opinion. And just to be flat out honest, would I trade this car for my my LX 470, which is basically a Toyota Land Cruiser? No. Would I trade it for my Corvette? Absolutely not. Would I trade it for my wife's car? No. So why am I talking about this? Well, number one, obviously, it's pretty obvious I can't trade my wife's car for anybody, right? Just she'll die. I'll die. She'll kill me. Number two, my Corvette, what I use my Corvette for and what I do in my Corvette, this can't replace. This can't even begin to replace. Number three, my LX470, same thing. I need a SUV or a truck to do the Home Depot trips, to take my dog places, to go on long road trips with my wife and possibly other people. So this can't replace a car that I currently own, but this absolutely could be a car I could own. And in all honesty, without even driving it, I would probably drive the Civic Si, and that would probably be the one I'd end up with. That's just a ballpark. That's a guess out of me, but who knows? Maybe I'd like this better. I doubt it, but it's possible. But I'm just telling you that to keep it honest, to keep it real. So that way you know where, hey, I'm talking good about this car because I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but I wouldn't replace anything in my stable with it. But I would absolutely consider adding it to my stable. And especially if if I'm on a budget and I'm trying to find a car that's not boring to drive, that's not horrible, has good ergonomics. The electronics in it, the lane control stuff, adaptive cruise control, and traction control are all defeatable. So that's a plus too. But, that's why I just wanted to give you my little few-minute opinion on this and show you a little footage of me acting a fool out in the mountains of Los Angeles County. Anyway, hopefully you find this review helpful. Hopefully there's something worthwhile in here for you to enjoy. As always, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching Maintainer's Garage, and have a great day.